Okay, from the President's Office, we are proud to place 2 meaningful symbols into our 60th anniversary time capsule. The WSU Tech Challenge Coin, representing our values, our resilience, and our shared commitment to student success. And the first tech type book, Ella the Engineer, a children's book that reflects our belief in inspiring future innovators early. So together, these 2 things capture who we are today and the legacy that we hope to leave for generations to come.
All right, so we wanted to be pretty student-centered, so we have a student chef jacket with the WSU Tech logo, and our bistro team has a couple of things.
In the bistro, whenever they come down, they can take the bistro up to 4 times, and if they choose to take the advanced versions of it, they get to develop their own student specials and their own chef table menu. So we have a couple of the menus and a couple of the recipes from those students in our advanced practicum.
Yeah, the recipes that we chose there really embody what we do at Niche, what we do in the bistro. We speak a lot about culture, personalities, and like why you want to become a chef, why you want to become cooks. All 3 of these, they really kind of like, we read them, we served them, the feedback we got, it all embodied that. And honestly, some of the stories that you get with these foods, they're amazing. They'll bring a tear to your eye. You come talk to our students sometimes, eat their food. We got some new specials coming soon. They're great. We also put in our fall menu. I think we broke a few sales records with this menu. Got a coffee spot sticker. Shout out Miranda and all those amazing caffeinated beverages to keep us going. And yeah, we're really excited to put this stuff in there.
What's up, WSU Tech fam? We are the Public Affairs and Communications team. And in our time capsule, we are basically, we put together a book that's a snapshot of everything we accomplished in 2025. We highlighted our biggest wins from metrics and top performing content to major events we helped plan and promote across the campus. We also included our internal podcast, Tech Talk, with screenshots from every episode, plus news stories that help tell WSU Tech's story from this year. In 20 years, we'll be able to look back and see how much we've grown, how our work evolved, and how platforms have changed, and how far WSU Tech has come.
For the WSU Tech Foundation, these items represent the incredible legacy that our supporters are leaving for the students supported by WSU Tech. That includes every single one of you that are here today who give up your time, talent, and treasure to the foundation. So for our first item, we have our fiscal year 25 impact report. This is our first revitalized impact report since 2012. Next up, we have our 2025 Poloplane t-shirt. This is currently our largest annual fundraiser. And then lastly, we have our Henry Society lapel pin, which is our one membership program where we have 72 members currently.
So for ITAS, we have some items that represent some of the work that we do for the college. And these items are with some of our vendors that we have or that we use. Canvas, notebook. We have an ITAS label printed sticker for our equipment that we keep inventory for, our EdTech equipment. We have an ITAS mouse pad. We have an anthology Ally. Ally is the tool that we use for accessibility within our courses. It's a fidget spinner. And we have a flash drive. Hopefully it's working in 20 years and there's some way to read what's in here. But we have photos of all our learning spaces, our high flex rooms, our collab, and some of the people in our department.
So as the official record keepers here at WSU Tech, we have written a humorous letter to the future registrar's office. It's shaped like a diploma because to represent our responsibility in awarding the degrees here. So the letter includes some key statistics in regard to our team and our processes. It has humorous descriptions of the culture with our students, our faculty, our technology, and it also describes the spirit and the purpose of our team. And so we're hoping that it would capture the humor and the heart in the work that we do.
For assessment, curriculum assessment and accreditation, for those of you in academics, you know the course dog is what we're doing these days. So we have here Cassie, the course dog. See how we're going 10 years from now.
All right. Our automation team's contribution to the time capsule is a programmable logic controller, or PLC, signed by every member of the team up here. This device is the backbone of automation and represents the skills, problem solving, and innovation that we hope to impart to our students. As our field continues to evolve, we look forward to opening this time capsule and reflecting on how automation and our role in it has continued to change. Thank you.
We're known for 3D printing a lot of things, so we're putting in a frog that's 3D printed and a boat. These are our test prints for every 3D printer.
Hi, so welding, we made a stainless steel palm tree. This is actually a 1/20th scale version of a student's fab and design project. It was one of my favorites. I've actually made several of these, but I felt that this would help showcase the creativity that our students have in our program, and thought it would be a good fit in the time capsule. We also made the cover plate for the time capsule as well.
So what we've got is Tim bought a Lego set with his kid, was putting together this Lego kit with an F-117 fighter jet. Tim hired it in August and actually had never ran Mastercam or programmed a machine, and come up with that, did all that on his own this last semester. So I thought that was a good project to put in.
We represent FRC Manufacturing, and what we have here is what is it? FRC seal. All right, it contains parts of the technologies that we do over there, like we have the 60th anniversary made with a 3D, no, not 3D. This is the CNC router. We have all the engraving over here made by laser machine. This other spinning part is made with a 3D printer machine. And on the other end, we have this seal, no, this end. Leave it like that. This is made with a water jet machine.
Okay, so this was actually built by the weld department. Thank you guys, you're awesome. But this is our WSU Tech AMT logo. About 10 years ago, we actually had a competition with the students, and this was the winning design. On the back, we have some milestones that we've hit over the last 5 years.
I would like to thank the Academy. It's the only time I ever get to say that. So we have an airplane. This is a much smaller one than the ones we train in, obviously. It's for pilots who don't fly good. First, I work with a really great team. I'm super proud and honored to be able to work with the great team that is with me. We have 10 flight instructors that started from nothing and now teach in the school, so I'm really proud of that. We've had a great safety record. We're really excited where we've come. This is going into our 9th semester now, and we're really excited for the future, obviously with the building and everything. So anyway, thank you for all the support. We have used a lot of your well-earned resources, and thank you.
All right, so we're the UAS department, and when we found out about this, the first suggestion someone had was put a drone in the time capsule, and I was like, well, what if I need the drone? So we 3D printed the drone, and we built it ourselves, and so then we put a nice note in there kind of reminding who was a part of the program and when the program was started and that kind of stuff on the inside of the drone. So thanks, y'all.
All right, so aviation manufacturing, here at WSU Tech, we like to pride ourselves in that we are build, maintain, and fly the plane, right? So aviation manufacturing is that first component of that building of the plane. So composites and sheet metal, we have the foundational pieces of projects that they do within the classroom. So if you're in composites, this layup that you usually do, every one of our students that goes through it does this project. Any sort of our customized training, they usually do a pretty basic foundational composite layup. And then we also have our sheet metal. If you're part of any summer camps, probably for years, if you've done any sort of campus tours with us, that you had to have an example, or anytime our foundational classes go through, you've done a sheet metal riveting with these 4 rivets with the WSU Tech logo in it. So again, we're putting our foundational pieces because aviation manufacturing is that foundation of the aviation program as we move into the maintaining and the building aspect throughout. And so we're excited to see in 20 years maybe how aviation, the industry, technology grows and the industry changes, or it may still be the same. We'll find out.
Thank you. To echo Rick's sentiment, it's an honor to be up here with this amazing team of people. What is Learner Services? First of all, it comprised of quite a few different departments: career services, testing, tutoring, library, new programs, student mentoring, as well as tech financial is our latest addition to the team. What we brought with us that we're going to be putting into the time capsule is kind of symbolic of the different types of support that we offer students and how we measure some of that. There's also a survival tool, some of our swag, as also a listing of our services, as well as a field notebook that our folks have written some words in to remember kind of where we are today and compare that to where we are in the future. Grateful for this team, grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this wonderful organization.
So the Information Technologies program has selected to add to the time capsule an aluminum medallion commemorating the opening of the WSU Tech Hub for Advanced Computing Knowledge on October 16th, 2025, as well as a section of ribbon from the ribbon cutting ceremony for the grand opening of the hack. We are also including a flash drive with files that relate to our current programs and course offerings, and then also a couple of articles on the the current status of AI in 2025 and 2026. And then we are including a current CPU that is used in computers by our students while they're progressing through their coursework, and it may be worth its weight in gold in 20 years, but a stick of RAM. DDR4 RAM, 8 gigabytes. So.
Okay, so we apparently have a number of items for different programs. Kenworth, we have a Kenworth keychain representing the ribbon cutting and partnership we have with Kenworth in our Kenworth lab. We have a carpenter's pencil for, of course, our construction and the mark that they're going to leave on Wichita with some tiny homes. Transformer represents the new electrical program and the transformation that we're making with our students. We have a CAT bulldozer. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. They're here. Bulldozer to represent the new CAT program. The Think Big program, which is the 12th program in the nation, if I got that right. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a brazed copper tubing for the project that we do every year and get into skills every year with our HVAC program. We're going to save that for last. We have a high voltage electric glove to represent Chuck's AFB program and the growing number of students that we have in there. And then we have the Elucid 10 millimeter socket. This is the only time we're going to know, hopefully, if it doesn't get stolen beforehand, the only time we're going to know where it's at for the next 20 years.
So we've got a whole bunch of little things that represent general education. So we've got a lot of little tokens that represent each of our programs. So I'm not going to name all of them, but we've got them all covered, I'm sure. We had a project with Legos that our logistics and supply chain did. We've got some micro work stuff here, work keys test on a flash drive, and a program and a pen from the Sweat Pledge from MicroWorks. So.
Thank you. I'm here representing Health Sciences, and our team not only educates adult students, but also high school students, and we also teach in the Future Ready Center. So we cover all the bases. Each department has brought something that it represents their teaching. For surgical technology, we have an instrument that we're putting in the time capsule. Veterinary nursing, we have a bone. It's a goat scapula, if you're interested. Short-term health, we have a pinning ceremony and a patch and some pins that we use when our students graduate from the program. EMT, we have a newly developed patch, and also we have an airway And in PCT, oh, but
It's like the oldest thing to date. They don't even use it.
but it was expendable, so. And then for a PCT, we have a glass tube with a secret message in the bottle. So we also have a map because we realize that not only the Wichita area has a critical need for healthcare professionals, but the state does as well. And so we are trying to reach out to educate people around the state. We're working with our first responders and also veterinary nursing. And so we have marked the areas that we are going to, because not only do we want to keep our people safe, we want to make sure that our food supply is safe. So we're very proud of the work that we do, and we're excited to be a part of this time capsule.
Okay, this is called a video brochure. And when you open it up, if you plug it in, it plays like a video, and it also, maybe like a YouTube video, and what it described was the National Aviation Consortium project. And most of you are not going to know what that was, but this was a marketing material piece that we had when we received a $14.9 million TAC grant back in 2012. Some people do remember that, and it was very significant, and I'm going to explain to you why. This grant put our aviation manufacturing programs on a national and even a world stage that we had not had before, and it gave us an enormous amount of attention, and it was with industry and even political leaders across the nation. It opened doors that even to this day, we are still reaping the rewards from. Not only did it put a spotlight on the exceptional work being done at WATC with those programs, it also enabled us to pursue and receive other major federal awards, so such as Title III, which we've already received 2 of those. Basic Needs, TRIO, we're on the 2nd one of those. And it changed the trajectory of the college in a very positive way. And I think that I would be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of things, because it opened the door. Yes, it did open the door. And then a couple or 3 years later, then you have people like Scott Lucas, and you've got people like Jim Hall, and they took the door and they just like shoved it open and took it off the hinges. And that's what you see today. But in 2012, the numbers and the financials that Sherry showed, it didn't look like that in 2012. But after that grant, opportunities opened wide open, and we received, I mean, the offers came pouring in. And I would also be remiss if I did not mention that the concept and the idea for that grant, I had nothing to do with writing the grant, absolutely nothing. But we did have an administrator that had the foresight to know what was needed at that time, and it was Sherry Utash. And she pulled it together and got the right people and found the right colleges to collaborate with, and it was a massive success. It was a lot of work, but it was a massive success, and we'll never be able to thank her enough for doing that, because it changed everything. And if you can see the growth pattern from 2012, it was a 5-year grant, and from 2017 to where we are today is a major difference. So I have to appreciate, and Trish, she worked a lot with us too. Her and her team had a lot to do with the success of that project, so I want to thank her too.
Our other time capsule submission captures the Office of Sponsored Projects as it existed in fiscal year 25, at a moment of peak momentum and uncertainty. These documents reflect a year of record growth, increasing sophistication, and clear upward trajectories in awards, application, and institutional capacity. At the same time, we sat at the edge of major disruptions. Federal funding structures were beginning to shift, and artificial intelligence was just starting to reshape how grant work is done. We choose to preserve this snapshot not because it is perfect, but because it shows who we are becoming. It reflects our success, our ambition, and our belief that WSU Tech's grant team is poised for something bigger, even as the future ahead remains uncertain.
Hello.
So we have a couple different things that we're going to place. I've spread them throughout the team that we're going to place in the time capsule. So one of the main things is we're going to place pictures of all of us. Hopefully we'll see in 20 years what comes out, right? One of the other things that we're placing in there is the formal accreditation letter that granted us the ACEN accreditation for our ADN nursing program. That was hard work. A lot of mornings, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, blood, sweat, and tears. We also have our nursing pins, for both programs. For our mental health program, we will be placing a brain representing our beautiful brains. And then we will also be placing in Hope Has a Face, the Perseverance Award. Oh, and then last one, the pin light. We have a pin light. So we believe back when nursing first started, there was no pin lights. And then now it's evolved so much, it doesn't even look like this. And I want to say people don't even use a pin light anymore. They use their cell phone. So we just think in the future it's just going to be an obsolete technology. So I'm going to place it in there and we'll see what it looks like.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Trio. They have the stole, and so it's so amazing just seeing students walk, when they graduate wearing this. And then they also added a pen. We have SAS. They have a fidget, and we have Jennifer and Lauren who signed it in the back. And then Esports has a pin, and then Brittany, she found a shrinking machine and she shrunk a tomato soup. And for student engagement, I added some swag, but I wanted to use Brittany's shrinking machine, but she didn't let me use it because I wanted to put, the best people is what makes this department. And so instead I did a group picture and I added Trio. And you can see on here we have Trio. Then we have Esports team, and then in the back as well. And then you can see SAS. And then we have student engagement, and then it's a keychain. And then You Thrive is also here too as well. And so.
Hi, everybody. We're advising, and we're across all the different campuses. Today, we have brought 4 different items to add into the time capsule. The first one is a 2025 graduation tassel. We kicked off the 60th year anniversary celebration at our 2025 graduation ceremony. Graduation is our Super Bowl, so we have to put in a tassel. We also made and brought a student ID card. The name and the photo on it are for WooShock. The ID was generated in Banner right before the ID number was generated in Banner right before being printed, and shows where we were in the ID sequence in Banner at this time. If we're still using Banner, when the time capsule is open, we will be able to see how far we have come in the numbers. The next item is a Kansas Promise medallion. The Kansas Promise Scholarship has had a big impact on our students and their families by making training more affordable to give students access to high-wage, high-demand jobs in this area. And last but not least, a list of our certificates and degree programs that we currently offer at WSU Tech. I have no doubt that this list will be different and include many new programs by the time we open this capsule in, 20 years? And I'm sure that probably with time, some of these programs that are on this current list will be gone by then. So thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, keep up on me down, guys. Sorry. Yeah, can I have your session? So we have several different groups actually represented here. So we have our high school advising team, we have our recruiting team in here as well, and then we have our kind of wraparound services for high school partnerships within PM and AM who help our instructors, and then our community navigators. So there's a few different things here represented. We did add in their very first flyers that we had. So in fall of 2013 was our first year to actually have a flyer, and our program was originally called ACE, and I took over the program in spring of 2014, and we rebranded as Jumpstart. And when I say we were operating on a dream and a prayer, Sherry. We were operating on a dream and a prayer. It was myself, and then we had an assistant that helped process things. So that was our whole team. And for recruiting, we relied heavily on marketing for a lot of that at that time, and it was just us. So we've had a lot of success. That first fall in 2013, we enrolled 1,200 credit hours. This fall, we enrolled 24,000 credit hours. So pretty crazy growth. And I'm very proud of the work that everyone does here every day. So we went ahead and included in there as well one of our t-shirts that we give to students. Get a jump start on life, I think is what it says, right? Or jumpstart, which one did we? Jumpstart your future. We were going to say get a jump start on life, but then we changed it. Jumpstart your future. So students in our programs, we give those shirts out to them as part of that. We put a flyer in with the faces of all of our current team for the high school advising team as well. And then Pam actually did some legwork for us in getting quotes from several of our students or instructors, concurrent faculty. Do you want to read any of them off or no? Well, we don't have to do that. It's okay. Okay. We can. If anyone wants to see them, we can send them to you. The comments are pretty cool. Some of our teachers have been with us for 15 years, so they have their own reflections of what WATC was and where we've come in that process too. So they provided some insight and just thoughts in that relationship and partnership. Then on our recruiting side of the house, one of the things we give to our graduating seniors is our tricord, really is what it is. So they can wear that at their high school graduations, but they can also wear them at the WSU Tech graduations because we have a lot of students who are double dipping on both worlds. It's really cool to see the number of students when you go to high school graduations that get to wear these. It's average Joes to 4.0s, and that's been really important to us as we engage with students that they all have opportunity. And so that's our cord that we hand out for that. We have our sticker pack here too. So everyone wants swag, but how do you provide meaningful swag, right? So we've got several from different areas. I call the shots for our healthcare professionals. Airplane mode, we're really interested to see if people know what airplane mode is in 20 years. Does it have any meaning at that time? So a lot of neat ones in there. And then our recruiting flyers, just that we put out to schools so students can schedule appointments. And then I'll let Sam come up and talk about NAVs. Sorry.
For the community navigator side of things, we added the letter when we got our federal designation to become a Hispanic servant institution. And again, this letter just shows all the work and commitment that we have to our communities, as well as a flyer for the community navigator team and all of our centers that we serve. Again, we're out in the community helping people have access to higher education, and again, working closely with all the high school team. It's been proven by all the numbers that we're getting and all of our students coming in, graduating, and doing great things in the community.
So for the financial aid office, we're putting in current cost of attendance information from our website with a little card that has a QR code on it that students can use to pay their bill. We're also adding a printout of our Who to Contact webpage to represent the current financial aid office staff, along with a financial aid office business card. And last but not least, since the FAFSA has changed so much, we are including a copy of the current FAFSA with a cute financial aid office sticker.
The business office is placing 60 pennies into the time capsule, one for each year from 1965 to 2025, along with a copy of the 2025 tuition rates. These items reflect our past and present, the value of education, the cost of opportunity, and our responsibility to students. As pennies are phased out, they remind us that financial practices may change, but accuracy, stewardship, and integrity never do. These pennies represent 60 years of progress, growth, and resilience, and proof that even the smallest details matter when you're building something that lasts. We have to balance to the penny, believe me. We are proud to add this chapter to the WSU Tech story.
So we all know that technology changes pretty aggressively over the years. So what we've done is capture in epoxy 10 years worth of different storage media, and at this college we've used every one of these at some level. And it captures on the back, if you flip that over, there's a bunch of listings of the specs, how much it costs, how fast it goes, how much data it holds. So it's kind of fascinating if you look at old newspapers to see what computers were 15 years ago. So I think this will be pretty interesting to see when this comes around.
Back in 2012, when I started, I was a part-time officer at the City Center campus. We had, I think, 2 full-time armed security officers and one unarmed full-time security officer and about 5 part-timers. We're currently running 7 full-time officers, armed full-time officers, and about 20 part-time officers. And in that time, my first shirt that I had was this WATC with this lovely green. It was a green, I don't know, that said security on the back of it. Well, through the years, we've changed a couple things, and this past year, we redesigned our logo, our patch that goes on our shirt that actually says WSU Tech Security and all that stuff. And we've upped our game on how we look. So it kind of looks like this. See, we got fancy gear and stuff like that. So we've just, the progress we've made, and just from the couple officers to what we do now is just amazing. So thank you.
In light of representing our largest budget line item, we've included a printed page of our total employee count across all locations, along with a demographic breakdown as of January 2026 and our FY26 benefits guide. We've also included our values document and our current UROC peer recognition program. When this is opened in 20 years, we hope it shows not just numbers, but our commitment to caring for our employees and building a workplace that evolves with them.
So marketing and community engagement is represented by a photo booklet capturing more than a decade of evolution from Wichita Area Technical College to today's WSU Tech. These images reflect a brand shaped through collaboration, creativity, and trust with our internal teams and external partners. They tell the story of a college that continues to grow with intention, using one clear, consistent voice to elevate opportunity, strengthen community connection, and open doors for the students that we currently serve now and in the future. So K-8 STEM Initiatives is represented by 3 custom camp badges and camp stickers, brandishing the Camps at WSU Tech program identity. Worn by more than 700 elementary and middle school students, Paige's leadership alongside many dedicated faculty and generous industry partners. These badges symbolize curiosity sparked, confidence built, and pathways open through Girls Rock Science, Grit and Gears, and Techno. They represent the belief that when young learners are invited to explore, they begin to see themselves as future innovators, creators, and problem solvers.
Data is at the core of everything we do, so we decided to include our very first Power BI report, the Enrollment Comparison Report. We have some census enrollment charts and a bingo card of common phrases that you'll get in response to your ticket. And finally, a course guide from when we were WOTC.
So I am here representing Kylie for the bookstore and our e-commerce, and we are putting in the 60th anniversary sweatshirt that's being sold in the online and the mini market. And then we just have a little write-up of the makeup of the bookstore at this point in time, where we are fully digital with books as well on online presence for apparel.
So Matt Lucas, his wife, made this sign for him a couple years ago, and since he's switching over to Wellness, he was so kind to donate it to this cause. So all of the finance team has signed it, including the grants and everyone else, and also things so valuable as this couldn't be complete without an asset tag. So Denise is going to place an asset tag on it as well as we go.
Hey, I thought it would be appropriate for us to put in what we call the Master Facilities Guide.
And what it does is just lists all of our campuses, the size of the campuses, the number of students, the programs, and those things. Also does talk about some of the new stuff that's coming online. So come hell or high water, I'm going to be here in 20 years when that thing opens
up. We may be the last, but we're great. So for those of you who don't know who we are, we're the Future Maker Mobile Learning Lab. We go out to high schools, middle schools, now elementary schools. We also do adult education. We also do, we are also an arm of community outreach for the Wichita Area Technical College and WSU Tech. You can see I get a little nervous when I start talking about things. But we have something really special to announce. Next year, we're celebrating 10 years. And to celebrate 10 years, our contribution is going to be, we have our blue truck that you see out on the road all the time. And inside is a picture of all the past and present Future Makers and leaders of the Future Maker team.
Man, was that cool or what? I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your innovation. Thank you for the things that you came up with. Would you, I sat here and I listened to this and I thought about the people that will be opening that in 20 years and, learning that story. I mean, that is just, it's so cool. It's such a cool thing. So I really thank you all for contributing to this today. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to close this and lock it. And when we do that, if you would just share your excitement, because that little piece of video is going in this box as well. That is some great history. Just think what the next 60 years will be. Thank you all today for being here. Thank you for everything that you did. Thank you for all the people that helped make today so incredibly special for you, for your 60th anniversary celebration as employees at WSU Tech. I hope you have a wonderful semester filled with great productivity, great student success, and all the things that make WSU Tech the greatest college in this nation. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.